The state's top court says a man accused of raping 4 women in 2011 will be allowed to withdraw his guilty plea.
Defense called several witnesses today, including the suspect's parents and grandfather, to try and convince the judge to try this case in juvenile court.
Looking out your rear view mirror or even a backup camera is not enough. Spot the Todd is teaching people to roll down both of their windows so they can hear children outside and take a look at your side view mirror before you back up. Police in Provo are looking for the suspect after a shooting overnight. Utah Congressman Chris Stewart tells Fox 13 he wants to know more about what happened during the meeting between President Trump and a Russian delegation. The Colgans realized one of their bedrooms had been vandalized. If you look closely, you can see a swastika carved right on their wall here.
Bob and Hope, this is what's left of the home after a fire broke out this morning. As you can see, the damage is extensive, but firefighters tell me it would have been a lot worse if it hadn't been for a 10-year-old boy celebrating his birthday who did exactly what he'd been taught how to do.
But what if the camera you bought to protect yourself and your family is being used by strangers to spy on you? Here's Fox 13's Kirsten Nunez. This week's Wanted with Scott McCain features 4 bad guys who didn't get caught on camera, but their cars were all seen under suspicious circumstances. Maybe you saw them as well. Layton police have cracked a huge case that involves nearly 24 victims, and they call this crime boogling.
Boogling?
Yeah.
And while the victim was sitting here at the wheel, one of the suspects held a knife to her throat while the other one went around the car and grabbed her purse from the passenger seat.
With the mixture of snow and wind, it looks like you're going at light speed in Star Wars.
Yeah, when that's blowing right at you. It's not good.
It's not fun to drive in that. Supporters of cannabis to treat medical conditions are laying the groundwork to take it to the voters. So Bob was just saying that he's never been wrong, and we were wondering if this might...
No, except for that one time when I thought I was wrong.
But you were absolutely right.
While firefighters pray for rain,
we're Woodruffs, we're not wimps.
The Woodruffs aren't letting the saddle fire rain on their parade.
Nebraska, California, Utah, Arizona, Tennessee.
With a family reunion 6 years in the making, the scattered Woodruff clan decided to come to the Pine Valley Lodge, despite the growing fire burning in the mountains surrounding it.
Last night watching it come down the mountain, that was ominous looking. It wasn't quite front row seating, but yeah, it was kind of scary.
Kimberly's referring to the fire coming down Forsyth Canyon, which put people in the area on high alert. At this point, evacuations are not mandatory, but strongly encouraged, which may be the case for the foreseeable future here in Pine Valley, because it's going to take a significant rainfall to put this fire out.
This is an area that's going to have, smoke for a while.
A potentially smoky summer, and certainly one to remember for the Woodruffs.
Each reunion you have something that went on that year. It's like, oh yeah, remember the fire reunion year?
The former BYU basketball player went from scoring buckets to making her bucket list. She was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer a year and a half ago.
But now she's getting to check off one of those items on her list thanks to her former coach.
I was given about 2 to 5 years to live.
After a deadly diagnosis, Melanie Day started living every day like it's her last.
One of my items on my bucket list was to attend the North Carolina at Duke men's basketball game.
A big game between 2 of the biggest rivals in college basketball. It was a shot she took, but didn't expect to make.
You can't get tickets to it. If you want to get tickets to it, I was looking online. There's a ticket for sale for $17,000 to this game.
So she continued cheering for her alma mater and had no expectations when her former coach told her to come down to the locker room after a game last week.
When I get up there, I notice there's a camera filming.
Moments later, Coach Jeff Judkins makes an announcement.
Mel, we're going to send you to the Duke, North Carolina game.
Her former coach had put in a call to the coach of Duke and explained Melanie's situation.
I thought there's no way in heck I can get this pulled off, but Coach Chevsky is a great guy.
Melanie didn't only get tickets, but the players and coaches pitched in to pay for her and her husband to fly out.
The fact that I get to go with him, that they're sending both of us to the game, and that I get to share that moment with the most important person in my life is perfect.
A winner both on and off the court. Melanie's coach says it's her heart that sets her apart.
She was a great player, but more importantly, she's a wonderful young lady and a great example of really what athletics is all about.
And even though her cancer diagnosis may have knocked her down, she plans on getting back up with a little help from her team.
I feel indebted forever to BYU, and I know sometimes people don't want to be paid back for what they've done, so what I can do now, the only thing I could do is pay it forward. And so that's what I want to spend the rest of my life doing, is paying it forward.
The game between Duke and North Carolina is February 9th. Melanie plans on documenting her journey to North Carolina on her blog, 5 Years to Live. We've included a link on our website, fox13now.com.